In this video, I'll show you how to create a simple free business website to market your small business without having to type a single line of code. Hi, I'm Josh from the University of La Verne Small Business Development Center, and here at the SBDC, we help small businesses start and grow with free one-on-one consulting and free business guides just like this one. And check out the companion article for all the links and resources in the description below. So Google Sites is a free web builder from Google that has been retooled into a viable option for personal sites and even business sites. It's not as robust as a lot of other paid tools, but it doesn't need to be. If you want to create a simple website for your small business or for your local services company, then this may be the one you want to use. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is find out where you can actually make your site. We're going to head to sites.google.com, and here you'll find the Google Sites page. Now, if you already have a Google account, you can create your site here and host it for free on Google Drive. At the top right here, you can see some templates where you can start working on your website, or you can start a blank one from scratch. And at the bottom here, you can work on a website that you've already made, but we're not going to do that. We're going to start with a blank one. So this is the project I'm going to be working on. This website is going to be a video production and marketing company for small businesses. Now, this center pane here is where all the content and the graphics is going to live. This is going to be wording and pictures and stuff that you add to your website. And only this center section will be visible for the viewers. And I'll show you what that looks like a little bit later. Now at the top here, there are going to be some tools that you can use for checking out your website. So on the side tab right here, we have Insert, we have Pages, and we have Themes. So for Insert, this is where you're probably going to be spending most of your time, where you'll be inserting content into your website. So anything from text to images to content blocks, and a lot of these other things that we'll get into when we start working on it. And then we have Pages, where you can add pages and then organize them in a fashion for your navigation. And then finally, we have Themes, which is the theme we can start working on for the look and feel of the website. Now, there are some themes that you can kind of already use, but we're not going to go that way. We're going to do our own theme. So now that you've seen some basic things about the website, let's start actually working on it and start creating your site. Now this is going to be the home page. So the first thing I want to do is create a header and text box. So this is the page title. We're actually not going to be using that right now. So let's get rid of this real quick. And what we want to do is we want to create a tagline or a motto that will go on the website. So let's add a text box here. I do have a document that I'll be using for my content, but for now we'll do copy that, put that here, and my tagline is going to be helping grow small businesses with the power of video. Getting tongue-tied right there. Anyway, let's make this a title because we want to make it big and bold. Let's make it centered, and let's make this a little bit bigger. Let's say 36. 36 looks good. Okay. And then what we want to do now is create a little description about what the business website will actually be doing. So again, I have my content. Let's go here. And copy here, and then let's create another text box down here, paste, get rid of that extra space. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Let's go say 14, maybe a little bit bigger. Let's go 16. There we go. So now I have a description. It's already pre-written out. I have a document that I've already gone through and kind of put the wording, copy, whatever you'd like to say, into a document that I can copy and paste. Now I want to create a call to action or something for the customer to actually do. So what I want to do is I want to create a button, and I want the button to do something. I want them to call me. But first, we need to figure out where it's going to go. So let's cancel that, and we're going to go up to Pages, and I don't really know what to do, so let's do Add a new page. Let's call it Booking. And so here I know that anybody who calls, they're going to be booking an appointment with us. Now, I don't really know what I'm going to be doing with this, so let's do Hide from Navigation so it doesn't show up, and then we'll go back to Home, and then Insert so we can get back to where we were. Okay, so I want to create a button, and I want that button to say Book a Strategy Call. Because I want them to call me to start that conversation and hopefully become a customer. So what we'll do is, now that I've created the page, I can now go into it. So how this works is that you can make a web address to another page, link out to something else, YouTube, whatever, or you can link inside your website. So that's what I've done. I've created my booking page. I'm linking to the booking page so that people can book an appointment with me. We'll get into this a little bit later, but for now, we'll just do this and we'll insert. So it's a little scrunched. So let's go open this up a little bit more, and then let's center this here. And again, open it up a little bit more. Center, make it nice and pretty. So now that we have this call to action, again, I'll show you what this looks like a little bit later, probably in the next episode when we actually create the booking page and kind of build it out a little bit more. But I want to set up a few more pages to make my site a little bit more functional. So what I'll do is let's add some other pages. So I know I want to add an About Me page, talk about who the owner is, myself, how I got into video production and things like that. So let's do that. Let's do About Me. Let's do a services page so customers know what they're going to be getting with my website. Let's do a blog, which is something we'll tackle next episode, but we can start it here. And a contact page. So let's do contact. So now it looks a little weird because I have a contact page after the home page and things like that. We can actually rearrange this stuff a little bit. So we'll do home, so the home stuff, and then about. The about page, and then we'll do services, and then maybe the blog after, and then contact. And so this appointment page or this booking page is not going to be on the navigation quite yet, but we won't have to worry about that. So we'll go insert. Everything looks good. And so like on the about page, let's go About Me. I can say add something. What I'll do is I'll move this here, this content block here, so I can put a picture of myself and then some About Me stuff, about who I am, what I do, and things like that. And so we'll format things and get things ready. I want to make sure that I have and add some services. Let's go pages, we'll go services, we'll insert, and let's just, we'll do 1, we'll do 2, and we'll do 3. And then we'll add some blurbs and things like that a little bit later. So what I actually ended up doing was I made another website. This basically pretty much built out. So let's take a look at that. So here is the pretty much finished website. So let me show you around what I actually did and how things kind of connect to each other when it comes to building out the website. First thing you're going to notice is that I created a header image. Now the header image can be done here. You can make it from Canva. You can grab some images from wherever, Unsplash, things like that, or you can create your own. I highly recommend you create your own images and things like that for your website. Since this is a demo site, I really don't care. It's just for show. Now the header type is a little bit different. There's a few different header types. So you can make a large cover. Whoa, that's a little bit big. A small, large banner, which is a little bit smaller, or the regular size banner, which is what I have. Or you can make it title only, which looks a little weird. The next thing I also did was name my site, so Botella Media Productions. And then up here, I put a little bit of a logo. I can show you where you can do that as well. So again, we had my tagline. I changed the cover a little bit, and then I added my description, what we do, and then the strategy call is now schedule a call. We have some information here about what I offer. And then I put in a 3 content block, which is right here. Drag that over here. And actually, let me show you what that looks like. So I got rid of the pictures here. And then I added the text to each of these. So you see that, and then added text to the bottom. And then I really just put a button here so they can learn more about those services. So let's get rid of that. And then finally, we have our another call to action. If this is what you're looking for, you can book a strategy call here. So what I ended up doing here for the About Me, a little blurb about me, how I got into video production, what I do. I'll eventually put in a little portrait of myself, but that's how I'll do that. Then we'll go services. So I ended up putting those services, marketing videos. That's what I do. We'll do video promotion. So once you create a video, we'll promote it for you on social media and things like that. And then finally, some coaching. If you want to do your video yourself, we can help you do that. We have the blog. We haven't built it out yet. We haven't gotten to that point yet, but I'll show you how to do that a little bit later in the next episode. And then we have appointments. Now, appointments, I changed from booking to appointments. Here's a little preview. We'll get to that in the next part. Finally, I want to do contact us. Now, contact us was going to be a little bit different. This is already the built out contact us page. What I ended up doing was in your Google Drive, you have forms, Google Forms. What I did was I created a little form with all the necessary information. So email, name, phone number, how I'm going to contact them, what would they like to talk about? Are they interested in videos, promoting a video they already have, wanting to create their own and getting some advice for that. And then if they have any kind of budgetary restraints, here's what I have. And then submit. So that was the form on Google Drive. How I imported that was when I went to Forms right here on the Insert section at the very bottom. So I go Forms, and I can search the form. And I call this Request a Quote for whatever reason. But I basically take this form, drag it over, and resize it for this page. So if I wanted to, I can resize it here, mess with it a little bit. It comes in squished like this. So we want to stretch it out so that we can see everything. And then the other thing for contacting us was going to be a map. So actually, let me get rid of this map and I'll show you how to create one from scratch. So map. Here we go. So on the insert section, but closer to the bottom, we have map. So if you want to give your customers a map on how to find you or get directions from Google Maps, you can do this. So let's put in our, and this is where we are. We'll go select. And just like the form, it comes out a little scrunched. But what I want to do is I want to expand it out so that people can get a nice view of it on mobile, desktop, whatever. And so what they can do is when you do the preview, they can view the larger map or they can press for directions. Let's see if we can show you that in the preview when we get to it. But otherwise, a lot of this stuff is already kind of built out the way I like it. So what we're going to do before we actually publish this video, let's go to our preview. Before you publish anything, you want to preview everything to make sure it's to your liking. So what we'll do is we'll go up to this button right here, which says preview, and start here. So as I mentioned before, the center pane was everything your customers and viewers were going to see. So all that stuff in the middle is now on the page. You don't see any of the insert pages, themes, any of that stuff. It's all right here. So let's take a look at some of it. So again, we have the home page here. We'll have links and the schedule a call. This actually links to the appointment page. The about, again, same thing, services. It doesn't show what that content block was. Eventually it'll either be a video or a picture, whichever one I decide. I haven't gotten there yet. The appointments and then the contact us. So the contact us, again, is the form. So I can view the larger map, which is now highlighted. I can actually click on it. Same thing, get directions from this to this location from Google Maps. Now I can do that. So let's go back to the home page because I want to show you the different views. So this is the desktop view. This is what most people will see on the desktop. What's kind of cool about Google Sites is now it's called responsive, which means things will change on the website depending on where you're viewing it from. So we have the desktop view. Let's take a look at what the tablet view or this little view here looks like. So we have the tablet view, and what I want to actually take a look at is going to be the call to action. Personally, for me, because I do some marketing stuff, what I want to look at is the call to action. Is the call to action above the fold? Now, what that means is that before you start scrolling, is it visible? On the desktop view, it was. Here, it's visible. I mean, it's not the easiest thing in the world to see, but it is visible. So people will be interested, oh, what does that button do? Before, it was a picture and then the paragraph to the side. Now it's an all picture and then the paragraph is below it. Same thing, instead of the 3 columns, it's now 3 sections stacked on top of each other. So the final thing we can take a look at is going to be the phone view, the mobile view. Now, the mobile view isn't the greatest because, again, my call to action is below the fold. I don't see it at all when I log into it. Bigger the phone, bigger the view, maybe, depends on the phone and things like that. But what I want to do eventually, and what I want to kind of look at is, will I actually need to worry about the above the fold for the call to action on mobile? Do people even go on mobile? Or will they go mostly on tablets and desktops? That's something I'll have to look at when it comes to analytics and setting all that stuff up. But for now, this is what I'm going to work with. I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. So if everything looks great and everything looks good to what we need to do, so before we publish, let's take a look at some settings to make sure that we publish everything in the right way. So up at the gear icon right here, we click on this, we have navigation. So for the mode, we have top navigation, which is what we have here. When it goes into responsive mode, it will change navigations because it doesn't have the space up there, the real estate. So it'll change to side navigation, which will turn into 3 little lines called the hamburger. And I can change that here so you can see that right there. I automatically have it for desktop to do top navigation. It'll change the hamburger and the side view later with the smaller versions. Doesn't matter to me. I don't really care. So for brand images, again, I was able to put my logo. If you wanted to add a logo, this is where you would do it. You'll learn more about that. And then the other thing is going to be the favicon. So if you have favorites, bookmarks, or anything, when you add them to your browser, your logo would come up. So if you wanted to set that up, you could do that. I don't really care about that. Next thing is going to be viewer tools. So there's going to be some information on the bottom when you hover over different links and things. It'll show you the actual path and things like that. That's something you can set up. I don't really care. Turn on, turn off. It doesn't matter to me. Anchor links. So if you have multiple pages, anchor links are not really a problem because you can go to different things. Where that might work is if you have a really long single page and there are different sections in that page. You can create anchor links to go to a specific section on a specific page. Now, I don't really need that. You could set that up if you wanted to make it a little bit more organized, depending on how that works. Completely up to you and your design, so you can get that done. Next, we have custom domains. So if you wanted to create a domain, you can do that here. And then analytics. So remember when I said that I wasn't sure if I'm going to be getting in mobile or how that's going to work, my visibility of the website, this is where you would track it. You create a Google Analytics account based on your Google account, and you would put the tracking number right here to establish a connection to see how many people actually get to your site. But for the most part, everything is pretty much done. So what we'll do is we'll exit out of that. We'll go to publish. So here's going to be the web address for your website. So it's going to be sites.google.com. That's the default one. Again, you can make a domain name. We're not going to touch on that in this episode. We're going to touch on that in the next one. But it's going to be Botello Media Productions. And then what we can do is we can manage the visibility of the site a little bit here. And then also the search settings. So if I really wanted it to be hidden on the web, I can actually request that. And so Google will say, okay, you don't really need to see this on Google search. But if you were a small business, you would definitely want to get found on Google. So we're going to keep that unchecked for now. You would keep that unchecked if you were creating a business website. And we're not going to worry about that now. But then we'll click publish. And once we publish this, it will be online. So Google Sites is a simple and free platform to get your website up and running in a single day. You can experiment with types of content and design even with this tool. But you should still plan out your design and your content before you start working on Google Sites to make the process much easier. Google Sites are for simple, small business websites. It's not going to have a lot of features of a platform like Squarespace or Wix, because that's what tends to throw small business owners off, because they seem too complicated. In part 2, I'm going to show you how to upgrade your site with a custom domain, an email address, appointment setting, and even a blog. But let me know what you think. Do you have a small business website? Does Google Sites look like something you could use for your business? Let me know down in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, leave us a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to get updates when part 2 gets published. Are you looking for the newest techniques to grow your business? Check out our marketing playlist to get started with digital marketing like social media and email marketing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.